Howdy, folks. So, today we are going to discuss the massive road crane. CFrc is the spawn code. It has all but 4 axles actually function because GTA doesn't give me enough wheel nodes, dummy things to do those 4 wheels. But hey, that's okay. We got all these. So, you're going to spawn the truck in. It's going to look like this. If you press E, you've got some green strobe lights. Nice and slow. They're not super fast. Usually they're pretty slow on the road. You can change the primary color, secondary color. You can chrome it out if you wish. Dashboard color is kind of the cabin interior color. Interior trim color is the seat. It has like a weird cutout in the seat. Change that color if you wish. Wheel color is a bunch of the external accessories as well as a set of the foot pads. So we'll get this kind of zoomed over here. So that is how this vehicle is set up. No mod kits, none of that fun stuff. All right, so you have extra 1. That's basically with the arms closed. You've got your weights and your rams closed in. Extra 2 puts your feet out in the world. If you're somewhere that doesn't like the collisions, it's going to start jumping really bad. And extra 2 is feet out in the world with the rams extended. If you hold down H, your outriggers will extend. Unfold and extend, I should say. I was going to animate everything, but then the feet would be coming out of nowhere, and I need them to have a collision, so I just made them all an extra. And I just thought the animation would be a little cooler than making the outriggers an extra. I could have done it with Smart Ladder, but I just really use in-game tactics, you know? So there are 4 ladders to this vehicle. So when you set up the vehicle, you're going to do the spawn code, CFrc, you're going to do 1. It's going to show just that section that's in white. Now that section doesn't move, it just exists. So you, if you wanted to, you can drive down the road with it. That's all it can do. Oh, I spelled it wrong. You reset it, it goes away. If you do CFrc2, again, this section doesn't move, but now it loads in with the boom if you wanted to drive it down the road like that. Not really recommended, but you can do what you want. It's up to your server's road laws if they want to allow. Now, crane 3 is where it gets fun. So you're going to tell it to spawn in. It's going to take a little bit. It just does. And it's going to spawn in, so you get all the weights, you get all that stuff. And I'm out of the vehicle because now you can actually get in it. So we're going to start out here by moving the cab. You got numpad 7 and 4, 4 and 7. Moves the cab, the big cab arm out and around. Technically, this should be deployed before the weights went on, but tomato, potato. It doesn't really matter. Then you got numpad 5 and 8. Move this part of the cab up and down. Numpad 6 moves that arm. Numpad 9 moves the same arm in the opposite direction. Arrow up spins the cab. Arrow down spins the cab back. Arrow left does this with the cab in this direction, and arrow right does this with the cab in this direction. If you press spacebar and numpad 7, you'll open the cab door and the little gate on the back. And if you use spacebar and numpad 4, you'll close them. And this is more so for like if the cab was actually sitting on the ground, you could utilize that for climbing in and out. Nope, I went too far. Now you can say you get out, and bada bing, bada boom. And technically you're glitching through the arm, but that's okay. Now we're back in the cab. and we can pick it up. So you got W, that will raise your main boom. So the hydraulic rams, sadly, they don't follow perfectly. I messed with those suckers for 3 days straight, and this was the closest I could get them. It's not perfect, but it is what it is because it comes down to the ram changes its arc and the mast changes its arc differently, and way too confusing for me. So I did my damnedest. This was the closest I could get it. Sadly, it's not perfect, but it's pretty doggone close. So this is where the cab movement comes in handy. So now you can't see what's going on up there. So if you tell the cab to pick itself up and you're in first person view, you can actually see what's going on. In third person, yeah. I'd make sure I'd have a seatbelt on or something. If you press shift, your boom's going to extend. And that thing's going to go for ages. And that's where it stops. Again, you can't get the camera up there to actually get a look at it, so we're just stuck using this camera. You press control, the left shift and left control. Left control, the boom closes up. Down it comes. Again, fully operable at that height, if you wish. Now that it's down here, it's going to be a little bit easier to see. So you have numpad 5 will pick the hook up off the ground if like it was aimed at the ground. Numpad 6 would extend it so it goes away from the crane. Technically, like if you were lowering a load, and then like I said, this is number row 5 and 6. Number row 8 and 9 rotate the hook. Number row 8 brings the hook like in towards the crane, and 9 goes out away from the crane. I did this because I could set it so as you raise and lower the main mast, it moves and tries to stay level, but we were having the same issue as the hydraulic rams for the lift, and I decided that it would be better off on its own control, so you can set it where you want it, because when this thing is fully extended, it changes its arc swing quite massively, and who knows where level would be way out there. So I do recommend having some other people in your roleplay server to operate like some radios and chit chat. So like out here, the swing is different. The angle's different than if the boom was all the way up in the air, and that angle's different per however far out that arm is stretched. So that's why I left it on its own control. Now you can see it's crooked. So, anyways, kind of a cool little gizmo. Oh, gotta get back on the ground, because of course we're not on the ground. Press X to get back in. All right, then like I said, you got A and D in your letters to spin it side to side. We're gonna bring this back in. And we're going to push it out a little bit. So here's kind of a cool part that I did with the hook. Not what I wanted. And you can't walk under these arms when extra 2 is enabled. Oh, you can actually. Okay. It didn't let me do it this morning when I was testing this. Bada bing, bada boom. Oh, that one doesn't. Alright, so it depends on where I place the collisions when I made them. That's all it is. No big deal. Alright, so we're going to go back into cab so we can actually see what we're doing. So we're going to angle the hook out. We're going to extend it a little bit. Bring it down. Again, you might want in your RP server to have some people. So when the hook is near the vehicle that you're wanting to hook, you press G as in Georgia, and well, you picked up the vehicle. You can just winch in or winch down, whatever you want. Q and E are used to rotate the hook around, so you can rotate the load to fit in a spot. Kind of thought this would be a little more handier than the Navia Corp winch. Of course, you can still use Navia Corp winch, no problem. Well, once I bring the car back around, I'll show you that. So you press G, it disconnects. And if you want to, you can still use the Navia winch. No problem. Like I said, I don't have that set up due to, or it is set up, I just didn't use it because I had enough cable prop to make this thing actually function. Now, there is another crane for this crane. I'm going to reset it, and we're going to tell it to bring up crane 4. This one takes a while to load in again because there's a lot. There's a lot. So as you can see now, we added a jib system on the end. There is no hydraulic rams here because, again, you'd have the same issues. Lifting arm. Really, I didn't think it was beneficial to add them, so I didn't put them in. The hook is kind of goofy. So we'll show you that here in a second. And then there's also another set of arms that raise right there. Of course, you got to come back to the center here. You press X, you get into it. Numpad 4 will bring the cab around. We're not going to go way up in the air, nothing with it, but we're going to go first person, so there's not so much stuff in our way. So you got your W brings it up, S brings it down. You have M as in Mike, brings the very tip of that jib up. K as in King brings the very tip of that jib down, and it'll go 90 degrees down, 30 or so degrees up. Not too shabby, I don't think anyways. And in the hook, as soon as you press 8 or 9 in the number row, the hook reappears. I think it's because the hook is earlier in the script than the jibs are, and so it doesn't understand what's going on. When it builds the hook, the jibs aren't there, so it just doesn't build the hook. And I didn't change the number, I just copied it over from what I had. So number row 8 and 9 do the same between the cranes. Number row 5 and 6 do the same. Really nothing changes other than we're adding Michael and King, K for King, for the very end of the jib. And in the other view here, we are adding Paul, P as in Paul, and L as in Lima, to make these arms unfold. The center part stands up, and the arms unfold. Up she goes. There's a little bit of clipping there with that bracketry and the end of the boom. Get the angles it's supposed to have. That's just kind of how it happened. It didn't mean for it, but it happened. And then you just Lima again to just bring them back down. They close up and they lower. All that fun stuff. And then we'll just Paul back out. And bada bing, bada boom. You have all your stuff. Now there are cables that are supposed to go between the pulleys. I didn't set those up because look at how the lengths would change, angles would change. It just got extremely hectic and didn't think it was really worth the time. You get enough of the idea here with just the deployment and everything. So here is the boom fully extended with the jib on the end. And again, like I said, Michael and King, M and K, move the very tip of the boom. We'll no clip up to it. And really that jib is just to help change the angle, pick and whatnot, so you can be higher but still pick a little bit off the crane. I'm not a cranesman, I don't know all the terms, but everything is the same for crane 3 and crane 4, except you're adding a couple controls and a couple of parts. The winch line does the same, the hook does the same. All of that is the same, you're just adding these parts in the jib. And it is taller, it is in between this tower crane and that tower crane. So it is the second tallest crane in the game that I know of. That tower crane is just godly tall. All right, now come back over here. See, you can see it from a mile away. All right, so another thing I did was all of those parts for the crane are individually spawnable. You have the weights, other just a bunch of parts. So you're going to get a whole bunch of parts in the folder. So we're going to spawn in them. All right, CFBW, that's the big weight brackets. That is the cable systems. Those are foot pads. Nope, this is a different truck for a different mod I'm working on. That wasn't what I wanted it to type, but okay. Now you've got just crane stack. Of course, all these vehicles or these props I'm spawning in separately, you can paint with paint 1. You got the small jib. What? Gotta figure this out for a second, because I just had it in. CFrc CAB, yeah. Oh, what is going on? RC CAB. We're gonna have to fix this live, I guess. I had it in the other day because I was playing with it. CFrc cab, CFrc cab, CFrc cab, CFrc cab. CFrc CAB. CFrc CAB. Stupid pet standing around like that, it's kind of annoying. Well, I'm not sure what's up with that. CFrc, CFrc cab. CFrc stack, yeah. Well, that's weird. CFSJ, small jib. CFSOR is a set of rams. CFSW is small weights, and we're in the building. And it is annoyingly dark outside. So we're going to fix that as well, even though I told it to freeze earlier. That's just, those are bigger foot pads, actually. Oh, now my dude is stupidly standing around. That's great. And then we have CFWB, that is the big weight bracket. Dude, like, stand up. I don't understand why you do this. Stop it. Is it F1 I'm hitting? Nope. Is it enter? No, I don't know what it is. CAB or C. I don't understand what makes him crouch like this, and it's super annoying. I don't know what does it, what key does it. It makes no sense because, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't understand why he does that. It's really annoying and I hate it. So those are a bunch of the parts. Again, I'm not sure why this one CFrc CAB. CFR cap. I don't understand why that one's not spawning in. I'll have that fixed before I release the pack. Um, but here are some screenshots of what you can do with it. I'm not going to go through setting it all up because it is a pain to set up. So as you can see, there's the cab that won't spawn in currently. I'm not sure why. I'm going to fix that. There's your crane stack section. Here's the crane set up. There's the weight bracket. So you can actually RP out bringing all your parts to the job site and setting up your crane. Here's all the parts. So they're vehicles. So you can use the slash attach, or you can set it on a vehicle, and if the trailer is set up in the thru's trailer script to attach vehicles to it, you can do it that way. And there's a character. And I was trying to use a pallet here. Collisions were being really goofy. And this forklift doesn't lift high enough for this trailer. This forklift doesn't reach to the ground. That's the in-game forklift. This is a dev buddy of mine that he's working on what it's doing. So someday he'll have that fixed. But yeah, it was just being finicky. So I found out not using my pallet would be best. This is my free blue pallet that you get from the free stuff. And just setting these parts on the trailers actually worked the best. And then using thru's attach deal and pressing G to connect the vehicle to the trailer and then releasing it worked the best after no clipping them onto the trailer. Or you can just use the slash attach script. They're vehicles. It works just handy dandy. Then there's my military crane, just setting up to RP that you're actually setting up crane. So I said that you can paint these as soon as I get over to one because I don't know why this dude does this stuff. You come up here to primary color and you can change it. All right, so I don't understand what's going on there. So we're gonna open OpenIV. Server this CFrc cat and YFT, YT, and YFT, CFrc cat. Okay, that's all right. We have data, CFrc cam. We looked at this earlier and this was all good. Yeah, that's all good. CFrc cam, CFrc cams. Okay, that's all good. Just trying to see if I can figure out why it doesn't want to spawn in quick because it's kind of annoying. CFrc cam. Yep, we're good there. It spawned in for me a couple days ago, no problem. CFrc cam, CFrc cam, CFrc cam, CFrc cam. Goofy. Very goofy. Now let's see. CFrc cam in here. Oh, that's fine. So what the problem is it doesn't know what model to pull. Is I have double YTD and YDR, This is due to the cabin's name. So what I'm going to do is we are going to go to stream. We're going to find CFrc cab, and we're going to name it cabin. See, this stuff even happens to goofball devs. When you've got over 60 parts that you're putting together, it's very possible to accidentally rename things. And we're going to go to data. We're going to name this cabin. So this should be all good to go for you guys when you get it. And we'll save that. Close out. So this is probably going to crash my game. I should be able to clear world, right? Nope. Really? I gotta be in the vehicle? Ay, ay, ay. So we're just gonna DV all this stuff. I wonder if I change characters, if that'll fix whatever's going on. Yep, it did. Like I said, all these can be painted. And like I said, you can use a /attach script to attach. The line will pop up. Line will pop up. Boom, boom. Kind of weird, but for that example. But that's how. I don't do it that way. I can do it this way. Oh my god, you guys, be quiet. We're gonna restart self-made. What warning did I give me? Couldn't make sure your server is online. Try to join it. Research. There we go. I don't know what that was all about. So now we are going to do CFrc cabin. And the cab section spawns. So we fixed that. Sometimes goofy things happen, and we name things extra, whatever, no big deal. So anyways, it can be put onto a, why does this dude keep beating me? I am annoyed by this. Okay, whatever. So these parts are paintable. I said that already, but you know, it's not bad to constantly explain things. All right, so I don't have to listen to that crap. We're just going to quit the server because we don't need to be in the server for what I'm about to show you. So in OpenIV, I'm going to send this file with, it's going to be a massive road crane. In here is everything you need. These are all those individual parts. And then here is all of the smart ladder parts. These are the still parts for crane 1 and 2. But you will see, you'll have the cab, this still sack, and stuff. So here's all this. If you really want things to be a specific color, because smart ladder doesn't allow you to change colors in it, you'll have to open these up, and the body color, if you open it in edit mode, the body color, you're going to pop in here, and you're going to replace it with, I don't know, all my stuff is set up over here. Let's say you have ice blue or some pink or some green you want it to be, or whatever company in your server is running it, just click on that color. or you can just make a color. You want a black, you have black. You have it whatever color you want. You just can't change the color in game. So if you want all your parts to be a certain color, you can do that. No big deal. That's mainly going to apply here, like crane arm parts, crane cap parts, and the crane small parts. Again, these are all the individual ones for the separate parts themselves. So if you change these, it has to come into, so you're going to get, um, when you receive it, you're going to get a data, a stream, and an FX manifest. If you changed one of the YTDs around, you have to come to stream as long as it's smart ladder or still parts or CFrc, this spawn code. You'll come into here as long as you're in stream and then CFrc, and you see all these YTDs, YTRs, this bunch of stuff. And you're gonna drop it in here, and it's gonna say, I don't know, something goofy like copy and replace. Yep, copy and replace. Boom, boom, we replaced it. I didn't change any colors, so it's the same thing, but that's how it's gonna go for all of these. If you want to be super, super fancy and you want to add more cranes, you're going to want to come into crane 3 or crane 4, whichever one has the parts that you want, and you're going to want to copy it. Then you're going to want to rename it CFrc 5. Inside of that, it's going to have CFrc, name CFrc 4, and ID number 4. You're going to want to change that to be CFrc 5 or whatever crane you're on, and the ID number 5 or whatever one you're on, so that the Lua and these two lines have the same numeric symbol. Then whatever of these parts that you change, say you want to add another crane that's blue, one crane that's green, one crane that's purple, whatever. Whatever you do is you come in here and you will copy these and you'll change the name. So say you want cab arm 1, you can do 1 1, you can do 2 1, 3 1, 4 1, cab door 1. Whatever you do, you can rename them, copy them, rename them, however you wish if you want to add more cranes. And then you come to the Lua of the cranes you want to add, and where it says like the CFrc main, say you changed it to red and you want a red and a white one, you just do the CFrc main 1 or main red. Whatever you named the YTD, YDR, have to, the YTD, whatever this name is. So like this one is main, this is main. They have to match. And you'll have to do that through every single one that you change. Through all these, there is no snaking because each set of code's a different thing. So there's that. Here you end on 57 gizmos because it's crane arm 4. And you can have as many cranes as you would like. That's entirely up to you. If you want to leave it just as as I send it to you, perfectly acceptable. If you want me to do the work for you, that is fine. Come to my Discord, pop a ticket, and I can set this up however you wish with more cranes and go from there. So if you have like a rental fleet, you want different colors, you have different companies, they both want cranes, no big deal. There is a lot here to keep mind of, so it gets very difficult very fast. Especially when you're dealing with so many parts and things changing, and you're already getting 4 crane parts off the bat. So, as I said, you will be receiving this in a locked folder. Nope, that was the wrong folder. Basically, the folder is going to look like this. You're going to have data, you're going to have stream, you're going to have 4 Luas, and you're going to have the FX manifest Lua. Okay, fine, 5 Luas, we'll catch that technicality. What you'll want to do is in your server's resource list, if you don't have a folder called like CFarmer or something goofy like that if you bought multiple of my mods. Kind of what I do is each dev I have stuff from has their own folder. Inside of it is a data, a stream, and then the FX manifest that you will be receiving. FX manifest is set up so that it can see the stuff. Bada bing, bada boom. You create a data. Inside the data is where the folder goes. So like inside data, there's CFrc. You would just drag that folder into this data folder in your server's listing, and boom, you plop it in. Boom, there it sits. And then you'll do the same for the stream, and boom, there it sits because it's right here. And that's gonna you'll just click drag this to here, and boom, bada bing, bada boom, you are ready to rock and roll. And then you're not ready to rock and roll completely. So anyways, you go out to your resources and Smart Ladder or Smart Vehicle, depending on what it's named now in the CFX manifest or CFX Keymaster thingy. They renamed it to Smart Vehicle because there's a lot more stuff being done to the script than what they originally thought. So they just named it Smart Vehicle. You'll come in here and you'll go to Vehicles and you'll put the Luas in here. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4. So you'll go to here, you'll grab these 4 Luas, clicking these 4 Luas, click drag into here they go, and you'll add them plus whatever other vehicles you have. They sent a couple to me and a bunch of other people that already have Smart Ladder, and a couple in here are the ones I've been working on. So then boom, now you can jump in server, spawn it in, do the setup vehicle CFrc 1 through 4. Basically how these look, CFrc 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you'll have the different options for the crane. I forgot one thing when we were talking about when you add more crane parts, you are going to need a YTYP editor. So this is, I'm not even sure what this is. In the Smart Ladder documents, it comes with it. But you'll open it, you'll get this little dude, and these are all the parts. This is for a plow I did for a test. But this thing is super long, and you want to put that in there, and then come back to self-made stream CFrc, and in here is a YTYP somewhere. It's hiding on me. Do 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 somewhere. There it is. So I don't know how to navigate to the app to open this. But anyways, you'll have to do all of the parts in there. It's kind of a mess. So it might be best if you just come to me if you want more cranes added, because you'll have to edit this. And you got to use the props editor, but I don't know how to open this with that. We're not gonna mess with that while doing this. So yeah, you got to change this to include the new crane parts you put. So it gets complicated very quick. So anyways, you'll receive this, but inside the data and inside the stream folder, you're going to get a lot more stuff. Um, you are going to get this CFBW, CFCS, CFFP, CFHB, uh, CFLJ, CFRC, the cabin, the stack, the SJ, the OR, the SW, and the WB. And they're all going to be in their own folders like this. So again, when you're setting this all up, if you have a folder called CFarmer, you're going to go boom. You'll have your data, you have your stream, you click on the data, and whatever's inside, you just go data, whatever's here, you can just copy the whole list, slap it into the data. Then go back to the stream, go boom, stream, copy everything that's in here, and boom, into the stream. You should be good to go. Other than that, you guys probably know how your servers are set up. If you haven't set it up any other way, You might have to finick with it a little bit. I've had a couple of devs reach out and go, hey, I don't do things anything like that. I pack my folders tighter than that, and things got screwy. Then they figured it out. I couldn't help them because they were QB core and doing other stuff. I know nothing about that. So there is a lot to this vehicle. I hope you guys enjoy it. We're gonna hop back in game because, of course, I'm a dum and forgot to show another thing that it's good at. So you'll have massive road crane. CFrc is the main YTD that you worry about for the crane itself. It comes with a blank texture. It comes with, I'll just delete this because you guys don't need this. And I'm going to rename this one because why not? Because otherwise it's not going to work. That's why. So you have one and you'll have two. You have blank and you'll have fancy sky or fancy stuff here because I was messing with it. And there is a template in here. So the dashboard, it has a template for the dashboard, so you can make it whatever, say whatever you want, do whatever you want. This is what it currently has. So if you want to change it, save this, put your new picture on it or whatever, and then just replace the dashboard. And then here's the template for the crane itself, and then you can just replace or add more signs up to 12. I'm sure you guys know how to do that by now because you've most likely done it for several others. We're going to go stream, we're going to go CFrc, and we're just gonna whoop, whoop, and replace. Another one to look into is the Smart Ladder Crane cab parts. In here is go to the cab, and you have the computer screen. This is also templated. So if you want the two computer screens to show something different, because maybe you're an actual cranesman, you know what they're supposed to say. Okay, cool. Just change it out. Got your template, save that, and then just replace this with whatever you want it to say. And it works in game, and it's also an emissive in game, so it lights up at night. That's one of the two things I forgot to show you when we were in game with it. But hey, that's okay. There's a lot to this vehicle. All right, so well, we're back in. So as you can see, it's liveried. I forgot to show you that earlier. It still has 3 in it because it just does. And if I just set up ladder 3, make sure I did that right. Yep. We'll wait here for it to do its thing. Takes a little while. Might be faster for your servers. I don't know. So as I said, you can't really see it because the camera doesn't go low enough. But those buttons and those screens are. That's not what I wanted. Are illuminated. I don't know. Blackout work? Yeah, whatever. But as you can kind of see, they're brighter. So yeah, they illuminate. But you can change those screens, button colors. You want to change the button colors in the cab, you can change the button colors. Entirely up to you. That's just how I set them up. Screens changeable. So I believe that is everything. Let's see here. I showed you the 4 different cranes, how to move them, the buttons, how to move them, how to set up more ladders if you wish, how to change the color on the ladder parts if you wish. One thing, if you change colors for the crane parts, you might not be able to match the truck perfectly because these are props, not vehicle things, so the paints do weirder things, which is why I have the truck so paintable. so you can adjust it to get as close as you can with all the in-game mechanics. So that is something to kind of keep an eye on or open mind to. Oh, also 1 and 2 on the number row raise a set of railings. I don't know if anybody will ever use them. I think they're cool, so I included them when I assembled everything. And now you got some fall protection for just like 6 feet of the body. But anyways, they're there. And yeah, I really hope you guys enjoy this and have some fun with it. I don't exactly know what kind of trouble you guys are going to get into with it, but here it is. It's taken me, I think it was 2 weeks worth of messing around to get it up and running. But hey, it works. I'll show you guys this. London was using it, or Marcus was using it in, oh, come on, why did you do that? In his server for the London script. He's picking up the jets with it, flying it around. So, anyways, some folks are getting some use out of it. Yeah, that sucker is long. So yeah, folks, I'm gonna package this up for you guys, and bada bing, bada boom. I hope you guys enjoyed. It's gonna be $10. Figure that's a fair price. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, thank you.